Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP episode, I think it was 455, I believe. We're live tonight, November 1st. I am Lucas, and I am joined tonight by Destron.
Forever Destron.
Something. Christian.
What up?
Anna.
Good evening.
And Rob.
Forever Peter.
Oh.
And Serge is supposed to be on the show. Apparently he's running late, ran into too many red lights, but he promises us that he will be on here in a minute.
That's like no excuse.
So high
I
off
literally
the
I left over a quarter of a hamburger on the plate so that I could get here on time. And he's complaining about not being able to run faster in his car.
You just need to eat on the show. I mean, Peter did that the other day. He had that Monster Mash cereal that he was eating. Sean's done it before. I think he's had a full meal with his family while on the show.
Rick did it. Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Rick's done it. So, yeah.
I eat
It's,
snacks sometimes. And I'm almost always drinking something. I mean, not alcohol.
I'm always drinking something, but I wouldn't eat on the show. That's like it's like a faux pas I won't cross the line of.
One time
Unless
Jack
it's like
was...
Oh, how fancy. You're speaking French now.
Yes. It's like if there was a toy that I had to show off that required me to eat part of it to show its functionality, I would do it on the show, but otherwise it would be inappropriate.
I have those. We should do that on the live thing. Peter, you and I talked about it like 2 years ago. I bought that Kabaya set from the 80s that's sealed. You guys want to watch Christian eat some 40-year-old chocolate and die?
Okay, that doesn't
sounds
require
great.
that you eat it to experience the figure, though. Like, I'm saying, like,
I think it requires it.
I don't know, like there's a Transformer where you have to eat the mini-cods to get the mini-cod power. I don't know. Ooh, little chocolate mini-cods.
I don't know.
Great.
So, like, when you open that stuff up, is it just, like, is it still some type of edible food, or is it just totally...
We could find out.
There you go.
I mean, chocolate
A special-
expires. I don't think it like
Special
molds.
death-themed episode of Cut the Tape.
I just think it's not good anymore.
Yeah,
It's not
I need it.
tasteable.
We'll find out.
But, like, I'm assuming if you bought a pack of Topps, like, baseball cards or whatever, right? Like, that gum, is that still edible, or does that go
It wasn't
back?
That
edible
gum was
when you
never
got it.
edible.
No, I know,
Yeah.
right. That's why I didn't know if the consistency is just the same.
I mean, it's still a cracker, a pink cracker, and afterwards it's still a pink cracker.
I'm feeling called out, everyone. Zaldron said in the chat that I eat during book club. And I want to tell everyone there's a difference between a live podcast and a book club. Book clubs are social events where people get together to eat snacks and drink and not talk about the books they were supposed to read. Whereas podcasts are where we sit together in squares and formally get off topic all the time. It's very different.
This is absolutely just a social get-together. IMOs.
No, it's different.
On the topic of food, I'm coughing a lot. I tried to eat a whole bunch of pork rinds just before we came on the air or whatever, and I inhaled one of them funny.
Pork
So I've got, like,
rinds.
Yeah, so I've got chicharron stuck somewhere up in my epiglottis flap area. Yeah.
I think you inhaled it funny because otherwise it's normal to inhale it.
That's how you eat. You just, yeah.
I get it.
I once had a coworker at a factory that was at lunch was smashing his bag of potato chips. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, this way I don't have to chew them."
It's a delicious drink.
What?
Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just say that he wasn't making a joke or being tongue in cheek.
Cool.
He was being chips in cheek.
No, it'd be really hard to swallow the chip drink if you put your tongue in your cheek first. You choke.
So
I posted a.
Oh, sorry.
You're not going to move this
No.
conversation along.
Uh-oh.
Might as well just skip
Now
up.
Peter is frozen here.
He's
Uh-oh.
back.
I'm back. I was going to say I left a comment at my local Checkers thanking them for the late night Buford shakes, and Checkers corporate replied, thanking me for my support of the Buford shake. I don't know if you guys know what the big Buford shake is. It's like you just get a big Buford and you blend it and you drink
I
the
don't know
shake.
what a Buford is. Is it related to
Is
Harlem
that a
Shake?
It's a
thing I should have been doing with my big Bufords for the last
Yeah,
20 years?
get the Buford. I've got corporate buy-in now from Checkers themselves, so
Man, I never knew. I thought I was just supposed to eat it like a sandwich and fill myself with regret.
I don't know.
You're gonna have
what
regret
that
either
is,
way,
or
but-
really what Checkers is. I think it's a restaurant, right?
It's Rally's here.
It's just burgers and fries.
Yeah,
We
that
still call it Big
doesn't-
Buford.
Yeah,
I don't
there
think
you
I have
go.
either one of those here.
All right,
Wait,
so
do you...
So TFCon,
Sorry.
that's our topic.
I
One
really
thing-
got off topic for once. Usually I resist
one
pretty
thing
well.
I do have a
I
question.
ate food at TFCon.
Big Daddy Review says he's very excited for TFCon LA and he's going to get the premium weekend pass. So my question is Anna, didn't you know someone that got the premium pass or no?
I did. I was there with a friend in the line
Yes, sir.
for the premium pass, and we sat there and waited until people started to get in, and we snuck around, found out exactly what was in the premium pass room, and then grabbed her out of the line and went for dinner.
So
Yeah, don't. If it's like what it was in Baltimore, don't get the premium pass.
If you wanted the wrong early, you would have wanted the premium pass because that sold out pretty quick, is my understanding. But I could be wrong. Oh, I know it sold out, but I thought it sold out pretty quick.
I think I could have got it on Saturday morning, like as a normal attendee. I think I could have gotten there in time to get it because I feel like I walked past the table multiple times with Ron because I was doing circles and circles around the dealer's room. So I feel like it would have been gettable. But that doesn't mean that, they can get exclusives that are very limited, that do sell out at that premium event. It's happened before.
The thing about exclusives with the premium pass is that the exclusives have to exist. And this time, they did not.
I think there's a better chance of them existing for LA though, since
There was
Yeah,
one
maybe.
real exclusive.
which was there you could still buy at the end of the convention.
yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
the Thessalonics was a real exclusive. And a couple of you got it, right? So we can at least share
Well, I
some
mean, I
opinions
think-
on it.
Again, if it's something that
Spoilers.
you know that you're going to want the exclusives, it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and get it. That way, you just have peace of mind. You don't have to worry about it. So
Let me put it this way. If I had spent $50 to get this year's exclusives early, I would have been very disappointed because I would have got an opportunity to buy something I already had on pre-order and couldn't cancel, or something that doesn't really appeal to me. Whereas in past years, the last time I made it out to a TFCon was 19, and there were like 6 exclusives that year. Like there was a selection. If I would have gone through the premium line, I would have grabbed one of those things, even though I didn't buy any of them.
and I think there was a couple MMC that year too that sold
Yeah.
out pretty quick. So
It was a lot.
yeah,
You know, there was the gold
yeah.
sphinx.
So you
and
never
the
know.
watermelon
It's always
sphinx.
it's always
It's
a
a
gamble.
crapshoot. Well,
But
I
so
think
so we
the big-
spent last week's show talking about how great of a time we had at TFCon. This week's show, since we didn't do a haul show or whatever, we decided let's go ahead and do that this week. So since we don't have Ouch My Wallet anymore, since a certain someone's no longer hosting,
Paul.
A couple certain someones.
so
Sure.
yeah.
When's that Shattered Glass show, Anna? Huh?
Ooh.
Soon, actually.
Ooh.
We're going to start it up again soon. I think I'm ready to start it again.
So I don't know if we want to go ahead and who wants to start? Go first.
What are our rules tonight? Like, how many
I
figures are
think
we
we're
allowed
just
to bring
gonna do a
in?
couple rounds. So what I was gonna
Go
do
fast.
is I kind of had mine set up into a couple different groups. So I was gonna show off multiple. Like I was gonna be like, here is a theme.
They're gonna go
of-
quicker.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and go quick because I know usually on Ouch we usually ramble for 2 hours. So which we do.
Shout out to Alacrity.
We do
Before
for
we-
TFYLP as well, but-
Before we do rounds, since we kind of already mentioned it, who all got the actual exclusive? Am I the only one?
Orson let me
Looks
play
like
with
it.
I don't
his.
do Legends.
Nope.
I don't
I had
either.
so many chances to
Oh,
get that
hey.
thing.
I thought 2 or 3 of us would have gotten it, and we could have talked about it as a group. Well, I got it. The end.
I have
If
the
2 or 3
toy
of us
rod
had gotten
in
it, we would have
gray.
talked about it on micro.
Yeah.
I have it in normal colors, and I think it's really fantastic.
He's neat. It's dope.
It's impressive.
I wanted a not normal colored one of this mold at some point. So like I'd been eyeing the gold one, and I think they did a clear version as well. And I was thinking I might pick one of those up one time, but then this happened. I was like, oh, I'll get that. That makes sense. But yeah, he's cool. That's all I have.
I
to
would have
say.
got it if I didn't have the gray one. Because it's really cool. It's a good mold.
It's a neat figure for sure.
All right. So who wants to go first? Should I go first, or do we want someone else?
I can
to-
start.
Okay,
Just
sure.
went first.
I didn't mean to.
Oh,
How many
technically,
of those
I thought
guys
other
are
people
here?
got
Thanks,
it.
Rob.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, Anna.
All right, awesome. I'm going to start because I wanted to talk about something that I initially talked about in one of my first appearances on the show. I got a hold of one of the, and I can't remember what his official name was as Bug Bite, but I got a hold of one of the versions of New Age Flipper, right? And this was one of New Age's first toys. And I remember when I brought it on the show, everybody was like, what the hell, Anna? This is so tiny. It's so complicated. It's so perfect. Look at its little beetle mode. Look at its little robot mode. Like, how could you get any smaller? How could you get any more complicated? What in the world is this? And like half the people on the show with me that day went out and bought it. And we ended up spreading the word of the first New Age figure pretty well. And then you fast forward, 3 years probably? I think about 3 years. And they decided to revisit their mini cars. And now you have the New Age Bumblebee and Cliffjumper mold. They're the same size, so I just have
Is that
Cliffjumper here in
almost
my
too
hand.
small now?
And you'll notice that it's literally shorter than my Bug Bite,
That's crazy.
about half as thick. And interestingly, more detailed. Like, this is a high detail level figure. Like, this is like medium level, right? This is about standard for what you'd expect of like a smaller mainline figure these days. This freaking thing has ankle tilt. It has wrist swivel. It has waist swivel. It has multiple arm joints. And it actually has, like, you can't see well on my camera because my camera hates me, but it actually has a good face sculpt. Like, this face sculpt is, I honestly haven't seen a better Cliffjumper face sculpt outside of anything else, really. Like, it's pretty much the best Cliff face I've seen on a toy, which is ridiculous because this thing is, you know, like a little longer than an inch in height. And in vehicle mode, it's really itty bitty. Huh?
So what you're saying is you wish your masterpiece Bumblebee would clean up as well as the little.
I
tiny
do.
legends.
Because this is the size of the car, right? Like, it's that tiny thing. Again, compared to the old Bug Bite, he looks like a massive monster compared to it. And it's just really impressive. Now, these things are not cheap, right? Like, I was looking at retail for these guys, so the set was $75, which is expensive for a pair of, you know, thumb-sized toys. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I kind of taken most of the year off Legends. I hadn't bought a whole lot this last year. And when I grabbed these guys and I actually opened them up in my room, I was like, uh-oh, I have to get back into Legends now. Like, I'm impressed all over again because it takes about half the transformation from this guy and the other half from the newer MP Bumblebee. And it takes the good parts for that so you don't end up with a mess in the midsection. Like it's a pretty well cleaned up midsection. Cleaned up legs, and it shares the giant feet.
We'll have to take your word on it, because your camera is refusing to focus on anything but your face.
Yeah.
Like even when you're covering your face, it's like, nah, I know it's back there. I'm gonna stay focused.
I can't temporarily remove my face to better focus the toy. I'm sorry.
Your camera is insistent.
It's too little. I can't fill the camera with it. Here. There.
We believe you.
But yeah,
Cliff face.
Every time I see the New Age figures and whatnot, like it annoys me because they're so good, but I don't want to get into legend scale figures again, and especially at the price that they are, but they are incredibly impressive. So, all right, Peter, what you got?
How many rounds are we doing? We didn't do that.
2 or 3. Just see.
I bought a bunch of Zybots. There. Cool. Who's next?
Do you like your Zybots? Are they good? Do you like your Zybots?
I love my Zybots. I don't want to say I'm in late stage Transformer collectingisms, but I'm in the what the hell is this weird shit stage. Here's the stuff that I ignored 35 years ago.
Where I started?
That's where you've remained. Is what the hell is this weird shit? And that's fine. You've rubbed off on me enough to where I guess I want to jump in on the weird stuff.
But do you have the Zybots Multiforce?
I don't, and I'm not spending $1,000 for that set on eBay. But I've got
I just Googled and saw it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones. Hey, Serge is back. So I've got this guy. He turns into a Porsche. It's a decent looking Porsche, and his face is awesome. He's got cliff face, and they took the cues of the transformation from the best version of the whatever, and they took the other things that Anna said that I can like shoehorn. Whoop, we lost Serge again. Shoehorn into my review and made it awesome because he's about this tall, and that's cool. His wheels turn. Vroom, vroom.
He's got lots of articulation, right?
Tons.
He's got tilt.
Oh.
and he, unlike some of his friends only, he has a molded face. Some of his friends have molded faces. Some of his friends have sticker faces. Some of his friends don't have faces at all. Like, here's another Zybot. I didn't get him on the trip, but he's in the Zybot box. And his face is a sticker. And that is
like
awesome.
Ironhide.
Just like Ironhide. This is basically Ironhide and Psykill had a baby. And that's what you get.
And they gave that baby up for adoption.
Yes. And I adopted him because I love him so. But yeah, I got like 6 Zybots and 3 or 4 new converters that I didn't have yet. So my collection grows. They'll go in the display, and they will be loved.
Nice. There are a bunch of random, smaller robot lines that were only lasted like a year or two or didn't have much. And like, generally, you find them in the GoBot bucket.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
That's
converters,
exactly where we found
Zybots, Dynaforce, some randoms McDonald's toys. You know, it's like
Changeables,
all that just gets
Commandrons.
Just all gets dumped in there because no one knows what it is. Well, no one knows, but you know what I mean.
It's not Transformers. It doesn't count.
I, for one, really enjoy small, obscure, cheap transforming action figures. Personally.
Hey, we're not back to you, Anna.
What? I'm just gesturing with my friend
skipped everyone else.
Hey, man, you're
gesturing.
Bogart in the rotation,
So
man.
rude.
I didn't do anything.
Bot pass.
I'm just flopping a fish around. It's actually a mammal.
So I want to say how dangerous it is to swim in the GoBots bucket with Peter.
You learn a lot, and then you want to buy it.
You learn a lot, and then you buy things too. So I guess this is gonna take a while because I'm gonna go ahead and just like show off all the GoBots and various things that I got. So first, I've got a MC Toys. What do we say? It was Dinobot set, or is it Dinabot set. So this is like a bag full of figures for $10. So I had to
Basically, like official Masterpiece Dinobot set.
get that. Right.
Grimlock, Swoop. It's like all of them together, basically.
Absolutely.
Indistinguishing.
So that's the first one. And then I was swimming in the set, and then I got a Road Rager. And so what was fun about this, going with Peter, is that he was like, oh, hey, they had like a bunch of knockoffs of that. So you got to watch out. And so we actually fished through all of their Road Ragers and got one that had the stamp on it, because some of the ones they had did not have the stamp. So we looked at, so down here, I don't know if you can see it, but it has the little stamp. And so Peter pointed that out to me. So thank you, Peter, for informing me of that, because otherwise I would have just grabbed one and it wouldn't have had a stamp and it would have been a knockoff. So
The knockoffs are collectible too.
well, that's true. Yes, I should have grabbed both. But
knockoffs that just look like the regular thing are boring. Now, knockoffs in wacky colors, that's where it's at.
Right.
I agree.
Unless, I mean, even if they're in the same colors, but it's like wacky packaging, like I am diecast robot. That's interesting. At least note.
Knight Rider becomes Robert. One day, I'll find it.
One day.
Especially if you replace like one of their arms with a sandwich or something, in addition to weird colors, and they're great.
so I just went and grabbed quite a few. So we got like Crane Brain on here. Is that right? What's this one? Peter, which one's this one?
Blaster.
Blaster. I've got.
That's a really good one.
Water Walk.
That is not a good one. IMO.
He's a good one. And he comes in a whole rainbow of magical knockoff colors and official colors.
Two of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
And then I got. Which one's this one? Let's see.
Flip top.
Helicopter of some sort.
Yeah, it's flipped up.
Yes, flip top. Thank you. And then
Christian!
Was this a
and then
Transformers
we're,
convention? Or?
Progressing along.
Or late
Skyhawk.
stage Transformerism.
Right. Got myself a Skyhawk here, so I didn't have this. And then
And that one has great stickers and it's not completely busted. A lot of those that you see are really messed up, and that one's in really good shape.
So
good,
one
good
issue
canopy, good stickers.
with these, I guess, is there's an issue with the spring, and so it like keeps pushing, and so eventually it will bust. But this one is not busted yet, and it has nice stickers and everything works. So it's pretty exciting. And then we went to our friend Richard's booth, who had a lot of Machine Robo. And if you've been watching the Infinity Closet, Peter's been, focusing on some of that. So I decided to dabble in a little Machine Robo as well. So I got myself a Porsche Robo. So the Porsche Robo is the Machine Robo version of Crasher. But it's white instead of black.
I was really considering tracking one of those down recently because I didn't know it existed until recently. I kind of want it.
The white one came out in America too.
Did it? Okay. Well, there we go.
I want that version.
Yeah, probably cheaper. And then I got a police robo as well. So I got that, and then the big one that I got that I think, Peter, were you eyeing this one as well?
I was not. I mean, I put eyes on it, but I wasn't.
So this
chasing
one, because of course, this isn't quite in the condition. See, I'm more in the I guess lower tier condition or whatnot for Machine Robo and whatnot, whereas Peter's looking for pristine things. So anyway, I got a Land Commander 5 set. So there's Peter again. I can't remember. Did you do a episode or did you just share it on Facebook about the Power Suit 5?
Yeah, we talked about it on Facebook. Basically, Battle Armor 5 was redecoed. Well, it came out as original deco in Machine Robo. Then he was redecoed twice in America, once as Nemesis, and once as Grungy and once as Courageous. And Land Commander 5 came out a couple times in Machine Robo, same deco as just one deco. And then it was supposed to come out in the US and GoBots as a box called Nemesis, but it never came out. So Land Commander 5 is the one that did not come out in the States.
Yes.
And it has gray duders.
Yeah,
gray
the
limbs,
dudes
which
are
is
gray.
awesome.
And then there's another Power Suit 5 that didn't come out. That's the middle robot is red. And then I think that these are a little bit different as well. Is that right?
A little bit, yeah. The other one that you're talking about is the original version of Battle Armor 5.
So what do you put in the power suits? Just any GoBot that'll fit, pretty much? Because
on the back of the boxes for the limbs or for the power suits themselves, there was a little matrix, the little chart that would say, this guy fits into this suit and this suit, but not that suit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do they pretty much only fit those ones? Like, I thought it was like a very generic enclosure, right? Like, maybe you're supposed to put specific ones, but you can kind of put anything in there.
I mean, essentially, if you can fit them, like...
Okay.
There's not like a specific thing or whatever, just if they fit.
Okay.
There's a pretty good size, a good amount of like the leg flaps open up so you can fit guys with funkier legs, but like bent wing and guys with big floppy plane parts all over them, you're not going to get those in there.
Got it.
Yeah.
And the torso piece opens up too, and you can cram a dude in the center.
Yeah,
there.
so you probably could get about anything in the torso, I would assume. But so.
And there were fun KOs available. A set that came with Ninja Turtles that fit in the limbs, and a set that came with like Grendizer and Mazinger Z and those types of guys that were little diecast versions that you would put in the limbs.
Now you're talking Rob's language. I see his eyes light up when you say Ninja Turtles.
I know.
Well, I mean, I've pretty much just been Googling like crazy for both of y'all. Like, what is that? What is that? Looking up images and stuff. So like, well, now I have to find an image of this.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, those Power Suit 5 sets are really awesome. And you can find them, like the US versions are pretty cheap. Or relatively, I guess. So like you should be able to find those at conventions for, I don't know, like I don't know what the current prices are, like $50.
Like GoBots are really cheap to get entry level. Like if you just want some GoBots, but it's one of those, oh, you want the parts? Oh, you want it not beat to hell with a bunch of dirt and rubber tires that are broken and scratched up?
Right.
Like then all of a sudden it gets pricey really quick.
Yeah,
I feel like all the fun things to collect are like that. Like Wreck Lords are like that, and Action Masters are like that. It's just
there's very little middle ground. It's either oh these are $5-10 each, or oh that's a $200 toy. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, but that's what you do is like at the very beginning, you're like, oh, I'm just picking these up $5-10, and then you have all those, and then you're like, oh, but I only need that, and that to complete my set. So, and I don't know. I feel like Transformers has kind of been that way too. Like all the exclusives for Siege and Earthrise and all that, like have went way up because people want to complete their sets.
Well, I found a picture of the Ninja Turtle one on Pinterest, so I put it in YouTube chat.
There you go. So, all right. Well, that's it for my GoBots haul. So. Yeah, if you want to buy GoBots, just grab Peter at a show and he will Sherpa you through the dealer room. So
Richard had a really great display. Just the amount of stuff that he had. He had a Best 5 set. He had the Land Commander 5. He had the Battle Base. He had a bunch of stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah. There was a couple other things I was kind of eyeing too, and I know, some other guys like kind of swooped in there and got that Best 5 set before we were able to grab it. So anyway, all right. Well, Christian, what you got?
I'm gonna let Serge go first because he hasn't talked this whole episode.
He's not impressed with our hauls.
I don't know anything about GoBots.
Me either, dude.
Like, what is there for me to comment other than I hate Puzzler?
What is the best combined?
Let you talk first.
You're done talking now. Get off.
Yeah.
Worst.
And mute.
Your face is the worst.
So good.
I think Monsters
I
is
guess-
better. FYI.
I cannot comment on Monsters. He looks good.
Monsters is good.
I wish I had stole that one that Lucas was thinking of buying. I should have told you it was a bad price, but send me the seller info. Bought it out from underneath you.
I guess if we're doing themes, I'll go with third party first. I only got a handful of third party, but the big one was Unique Toys Peru Kill, which is Age of Extinction Lockdown. This one had a pretty weird release.
Peru.
No, it's racist.
You did it. It's his name.
So a lot of the Unique Toys like movie stuff, because I feel like Paramount is a lot more willing to take down third party and KOs. A lot of the movie stuff isn't carried by some of like the stateside retailers, or if they do carry them, they just do them like at shows. Like I know Chosen Prime carries like the movie KOs, but they only have them at shows. They don't have them on their site. So he was kind of like an awkward release because I was talking to the guy at the TF Source booth, and he said that they had him ordered 3 years ago and they barely got him this year. While some Chinese websites have had him for 3 years now. So I was like going back and forth because Orson's booth was right across from the TF Source booth. And they had 3 all weekend. And then finally on Saturday evening, they only had 1 left. And the guy who was working at TF Source gave like the pitch of his life. And I'm like, you know what? I'll buy it. I know I was floored. The whole dealer room clap was amazing.
That guy. That guy had the
Yes.
the best sales pitch.
It really was. And he convinced me, and I'm glad that he did. Because, I mean, I pretty much only do movie stuff. But I think I didn't really want to pick this one up because if I knew if I got this, I would have to get other Age of Extinction stuff. And that movie wasn't great. And so I didn't want to buy more.
What's interesting about that release is, you said it had problem getting shipped out to people. I didn't know that, but it's knocked off several times as well. Like if you go to try to buy that,
like
you might get the knockoff, and then the knockoff company, the knockoffs apparently is just as good. Like there's differences. I know Ben's Collectibles on his knockoff channel has a review of the knockoff comparing to the original.
And the knockoff comes with a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the bot itself is like pretty much the same. There might be a couple differences in paint apps here and there.
Yeah,
but I know that the KO came with 3 dogs, and the official comes with 1.
I saw one today. They came with a red dog.
Oh, there's like 3 or 4 KOs that made of them, and I think at one point they just sold a pack of just the dogs. Like if you wanted to army build the dogs, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get that. But yeah, this thing is insane. I mean, it's like the way that it transforms. It's like it's not difficult, but it's just so like creative in how it gets from the Lamborghini into the robot. It also has like the color scheme. It's like a mixture of matte black plastic and like metallic black plastic. So in person, the clash of the 2 different blacks like really goes together really well. And I think the sculpt, on camera, the sculpt isn't really shown off that well compared to in person. So I'm glad I got this one.
On camera, It's a nice rich purple.
Does it have articulation, or is it just stand there like a Titan figure from the movie line?
Oh yeah, no,
he bends.
It's
He
insane.
bends.
Yeah,
He looks like those Titan changers. Is that what they're called? The $10 guys.
I was thinking the same thing, Peter. The way he has
The
a
shampoo
pose,
bottles.
anti-pose.
Yeah.
I had them posed on the shelf, but I straightened it out.
Being boring.
The other third party that I got was this Arch Enemy, is it? From Fans Hobby. So that's like their G2 Laser Prime mold, but it's the RID Scourge. I've been eyeing this one, and I know Fans Hobby, they kind of like perpetually run a handful of their figures. Like they're always available in stock. Like every Black Friday, they have a sale on them. And so I've been eyeing this one the last couple years, and he was at the show. So I was like, you know what? I got the cash. I'm already here. And I'm glad I picked it up because the Fans Hobby stuff, what I like about their stuff is that, it fits really well with the rest of your Masterpiece stuff. But it does not transform like a Masterpiece at all. This is not complicated at all, but it's super articulated, and I mean the paint job on this is just gorgeous. It's got a nice heft to him too. He's got some die-cast mixed into him. And I don't know if Anna's going to show off hers, but the last third-party thing I got...
Before you do that, I was going to mention, so for the Fans Hobby figure, there's a trailer that you can buy separately for him. So, like, if you buy just the bot, like, you don't feel like the trailer's missing. But if you get the trailer, it's really cool because they essentially took that and made the original toy as a masterpiece. Like it makes the base mode, and it has... I don't think it actually shoots the stuff, but like it comes with all the missiles and the little discs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a really good release.
Too, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like it's a little more complex than the original, but it's still a very simple transformation in a good way. Has a big sword. And if you get the Laser Prime version, it has an awesome sticker that goes on the trailer.
Yep.
It's just some wonderful art.
Yeah, Chosen Prime had the trailer, but it was the Prime version. So
yeah, the Scourge one is.
I didn't want to did not want to mix the colors, but who knows? Fans Hobby like reissues their stuff left and right, so maybe they'll put it out one day.
Yep.
And then so the last third party I got was the mini Firmament. Is it Firmamini? I guess is the nickname. So it's the King Toys
box,
dive bomb.
That's not a nickname. That's his name on the freaking box. Is for many.
Oh, I couldn't even read the box. It's so shiny.
Is King Toys doing their Predaking but smaller? Even though they haven't finished the Predaking yet.
Last weekend of both of them complete. So now you can see what the mini is going to look like too, and it is really neat.
Yeah, the mini version, from what I understand, kind of just came out of nowhere, and a lot of people
out of nowhere.
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking, like, at first when they showed off pictures, they thought that it was just like an undersized KO.
Oh, we're losing him.
Arm do the rest of them, but it's apparently it's a brand new mold.
Yeah, it's not the same as the full size Firmament at all. It's a completely different figure. It looks like it's a relative, at least, like they're cousins. But yeah, like you said, the release
it looks
weird.
Super similar.
Because one day I found out about it, and that same day I went to Show Z to look for it, and they had it on order already. It wasn't pre-order; it was just they'll send it to your house, and they got it to me in like a week, which is bizarro for them. I don't know how they got it to me so fast, and it's so cool. That's why I'm not showing it, because I already had it. Yeah, I had it before the con. I just brought it to sell the rest of you on it because I like to spread things.
Oh, you did?
It's still in my brain.
I thought you picked it up there.
It's worming its way around.
Like a bird flu. Yeah.
So,
yes.
Well, what convinced me was I always liked the King Toys style. I do like the stylized kind of Gundam mecha looking that they did for their Predaking. The thing is like I think their big one is like 8 bots in total, 8 or 9 in total, and they're like 150 a piece. Yeah, it's 150 a piece, so it's going to be at least a grand for the whole set. And I didn't want to drop that much cash, and also I don't have the space because it's really big. The wingspan on it especially. But this, surprisingly, at Chosen Prime, they did it for $30, which is really cheap for Legends, because the Legends can get upwards of $150 nowadays. So $30 for this, and it's like really good quality too, and it's a nice, simple, fun transformation. It was a no-brainer for me. So I'm really glad that
I really wonder if by the end of that line, like it's going to be like that one started at 30. Now it's available for 40 everywhere after the first run. So you start at like 40-ish, and then the next one's going to be 50, then 60, then 70.
No, what they'll do is
they give you the first hit for free.
What they'll do is that you have to buy like an extra trailer for like $150. Like, and the only way to combine it is to buy that trailer. That's what they'll do.
That guy comes with a hand though.
Yeah.
He comes with a hand, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, the pricing is weird. I hope the rest of them are around this, because Show Z surprisingly had it for $40, which they're usually the cheapest. Chosen Prime at the show was like $30 or $32, but I found out this weekend that BBTS has it on pre-order for like $26 or $27. So it's like really cheap.
It is cheap.
But who knows if who knows if like they made this one really cheap to get people hooked in, and then they'll jack up the rest.
Because I feel like several of these Legends companies have done it. Because New Age started a lot cheaper. MFT started a hell of a lot cheaper than they are now. And what was the last one that started way cheaper and then went up? Oh, Big Firebird. Like, they sold that original IC for like $70 to $80. And now she's like, that mold is like $150 when you find it now. It's like doubled in price.
Almost everything has gone up.
They just get their name out there.
Like, literally everything, even retail, is at least 50%, if not double. It's like, it seems like the more niche it gets.
Everything, Rob. Everything.
That's because those were made 13 years ago, and they're still sitting on the shelves waiting to get out.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
It's got to wait for Anna and Catherine to clean them out.
Thank you, Catherine. I need these in my life.
All right, Christian, what you got?
All right, so I'm going to do my most exciting piece first. It's actually a lot of pieces. I got a complete Galaxy Force Booster Volume 3. Here's several of them. Here's more. Here's the last two. And bonus round, I got Megalo Zigzag.
Were all these from Orson's table?
They were all from Orson's table.
When I was putting those out, I was like, I wonder if this is something Christian's into. You know,
one more set that I left behind, and I went back for Saturday morning, and it was already gone. The thing is, I went to the con to buy Cybertron stuff. This is Galaxy Force stuff, which was like my extra innings from when I finished, but it was right in front of me, and I was just like, I got to make a move.
And it's Orson.
I made a move on these, and
I think Matt from Transformerland took the rest that you left there.
He did.
Because he as soon as we opened the booth, he came in and dropped like $1,000 on like a bunch of stuff at the table. Like he just was like handing me stuff.
I feel like that was a theme at Orson's.
It was a bunch
table,
of those mini cons.
Right?
Yeah.
Orson was definitely having a fire.
Orson's table was like the place to be. Yeah, he was like, he priced stuff. There's pricing things to move, and then there's pricey things to like fly. And he had stuff priced to fly.
This is the Bug General, and the camera's not picking it up super well, but he's vac metalized. But this is the Minicon that originally came with Unicron, and then he was packed in the Micron booster.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yup. And then what I really like about the booster, this next group I'm going to show you was packed pretty heavily. You know, because the boosters come in blind packed boxes, and then, some of them are rarer than others. This group are the gang-molded Minicon partners for several deluxes that came out in Cybertron. This is Buzzsaw, this is Long Racks, this is Blurs, and this is Runamucks. So they were packed a little bit more heavily because they made a bunch of those deluxes. But it's cool that in a world where Cybertron stopped coming with Minicon partners for the Armada molds, the Armada dudes still got their dudes in Japan. So now I have them too.
Interesting.
Did
they still have the key gimmicks?
Yeah, I've got Blur here, actually. He was one of my pickups. So they remolded all the Armada dudes to have, key ports instead of Minicon ports. So they just kind of hang out together instead of activating the gimmick. But you can see they're molded from the same colors of plastic. The blues are the same. The clear wheels are the same. So it's very
no idea. I had no idea until I talked to you and Alan just how deep like the Japanese Minicons were.
It's
just like insane.
It's literally impossible to collect them all. Like some of them are like, it's some dinky shop that somehow got a run of some of these, and they made 100 of them, and you had to go to that store in Japan and buy a candy bar to get it.
Yeah, spend X number of yen.
Like, Serge, you were there when I was debating on that one final set of the Street Speed team I left behind. Because I was like, it looks like it's the Cybertron version of the mold. Is it? Is it not? Is it not? And we had to research it and look it up because I'd never seen them before and figure out that it was a Micron Legend release, not a Galaxy Force release. So, scope. Make sure your scope is there.
That's just hard, though.
That's a rabbit hole I don't want to fall.
It is a precarious slope. With it all right in front of me right there, I was like, well, I could just get all the Micron booster packs and just have them all. And I was like, no, focus.
Yeah, because I have a couple of like the American repaints, and even stateside they went pretty crazy with like all the repaints because even
comes with the Minicon and Universe,
yeah, because it was like the Universe repaints, then you had like repaints in Energon and Cybertron, and then outside of that, I know Classics did like a couple multi packs, and then Universe 2 did a couple like the Kmart packs, so there was like recolors everywhere in the U.S.
But now, do you worry though, Christian, that she'll, when you decide in however many years to go ahead and collect that stuff, that you won't be able to find that stuff, and you're like, it would have been right in front of me, right at Orson's booth for the right price.
I wasn't able to find this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I went to buy Cybertron stuff at this con, but seeing the Micron boosters for Galaxy Force right in front of me, it's like, well, when am I going to see these again?
But isn't the one that got away story part of collecting? Like, is that just like something you have to have as a collector to be like, there's this one time I was so close to getting it and then it swam away?
There's a lot more than one time.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot more than one time.
Yeah.
But then you just start
Unfortunately.
collecting and you make the story go away.
The Mugen
Eventually get it,
Microns,
but until you get it again,
Yeah,
you'll
but
remember
then
that
that's
time
like
we
the
did.
horrible.
I missed them.
That's like the horrible thing that gnaws at your soul because you're like, I let it get away.
It does.
I have worse things than not my soul, everybody.
There you go.
Jeez, okay, Mr. Flex with his dark past.
I had when there was kind of got away, but like I let it go on purpose just because the box wasn't where I wanted it to be. Orson had the Lawson exclusive Bumblebee, which was some store in Japan that got a movie Bumblebee, and you had to go to that store to buy it. And he had it for like 120 or 150, but the box wasn't the greatest, so I was like, I'll wait on it.
Never see it again.
That's how it works.
Yeah, right.
All right.
If anyone out there does need the Buzzsaw or the Long Raptor, it's actually already had these two. So if you need them, hit me up.
I might take you on that offer, that slippery slope. You're already sending me stuff. You're already sending me stuff, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll
figure it out before the next couple
snowball.
hours, boy.
All right. Well, are we ready for round 2 then?
I still don't think I got a proper round 1 because I thought other people got it.
Jumped the gun. That's on you.
Yeah,
buddy.
You got
Get
to
it
talk
with a
about
gun.
this.
It was a pew
I
pew.
literally
Played yourself.
got played.
You jumped with the gun.
I'm gonna
Wait, before we go on, I want to talk to Serge about Peru Kill. So, do you think there's any correlation between Peru Kill being named Peru Kill and Michael Bay blowing up Machu Picchu, Sacsayhuaman, and Tiwanaku in the new movie in Rise of the Beasts?
I mean, it could be. Who knows why? Sometimes with third party, you can kind of like guess the reference or why they named it the way that they did, and then other times it's like purple potato, and you're like, where the hell did they get that from?
It's not going to be that because this toy came out a couple years ago.
But it didn't ship until last week, and they used their time travel to know.
They foresaw. They did.
Damn
They did
third party in their
Simpsons
time
production.
travel. Every time it gets you.
Every
I
time.
wasn't convinced till you threw in time travel. Now I got it. You're right.
I'm going to do less than 60 seconds of honorable mentions and then get into the real stuff. I picked up 3 books from Rick. He had a 4th book, but it was already sold out. And he gave me inscriptions on all of them. 2 of them are really heartfelt. One of them was not, but it's funny. It's polite. It is work saved. But I also got a couple things from Orson. Got some MP cars, got Cordon and Loud Pedal at a good price. And then he gave me even a little bit better price because I was helping him out with the booth all weekend. And I bled for him. And I cut open my hand moving that goddamn pegboard.
This setup for this year's TFCon was awful. God,
I mean,
awful.
that pegboard ended up being really useful to set up because it was so flexible. It was really nice for that, but that thing sucks. I hate that thing. It is the worst. It looks nice once you're done, but yeah. So those were some honorable mentions, as well as this wasn't necessarily TFCon, but Christian got me Origins Bumblebee and brought it to the show because we knew it was coming up. So
It was in my
for
Santa
interest,
box where I had stuff for everybody.
but for stuff I actually bought that's interesting, I got some knockoffs. I'm going to start with the simpler one. Peter can probably tell us the origin of what this is. I just saw it on a table, so I bought it. It's kind of like the enemy colors.
Stage dive?
Kind of sort. I have no idea. I mean, it's for sure a knockoff. I'm right. Like,
It's a knockoff, yeah.
yeah, and other than the fact that it's beat up, it's a knockoff of Rumble Frenzy in white and red with missing some stickers and pretty dirty. But it even comes with this little case. But I don't know.
That's it looks like that Paradronian dude from that one episode where they go to Paradron. Peter.
Playback? No,
It looks like Playback.
not playback.
I know it's not, but it looks like
Not
him.
playback. He wasn't a tape. He wasn't a tape type. He was just a dude,
He wasn't-
an awesome
He
looking
was a
dude.
tape type.
Nah. But there were a lot of Taiwanese and Hong Kong type microchange cassette dude knockoffs. They came out at the same time, 84, 85. My first tapes were knockoffs. I got one of the Condors and a Ravage, and the knockoffs often came with the cases. So it's pretty cool.
So
Yeah,
I
so-
want Paul to recolor the movie to put in those knockoffs, like into the movie instead of the true, Ravage and who whatnot.
I would love that.
Yeah, there's this little tape mode. I don't know. It's a transforms into a basic shape, so I enjoy things like that. I kind of wish I'd bought the G1 knockoffs back when those used to flood eBay they had all the different colors of them, but it was just kind of at the time, then, money had to go somewhere else. Had to go somewhere else on other toys, but that was pretty neat. And then I also saw this over at the same table. I actually bought this first. It's a 4-star knockoff of Bombshell. Isn't that right? I always get Bombshell and Shrapnel a little mixed up. Made to be a big gold scorpion thing. We call it a knockoff, but I don't know that any part of this thing is actually of the same. Like, obviously in scorpion mode. What are you knocking over, Cat? Good Lord. Stop it. Sorry guys. Oh, Jesus Christ. This obviously looks nothing like anything, but even then when you transform it, that's the only time you can tell that, because its chest has some obvious, Bombshell look-alike, but the head's different. I don't know that the chest is actually the same at all, but yeah, it's pretty wild. He's got a very
I
pretty.
think that's a crawdad.
Maybe it is. Maybe
I
it
don't
is
think
crawdad.
it's a scorpion. I think that's a crawdad.
Well, it's got a big tail. Do crawdads have a big tail like that?
Delicious
they
tiny
don't flap them
tails.
up, but they have tails.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has like the front antler thingies like a crawdad would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But he's cool looking either way. And he's still not a transformer. Either way. But the 4-star knockoffs are pretty popular, I think. I know the Dinobot one's the prehistory beasts.
Prehistory animal. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, those are pretty well known. I'm
That
always
was-
keeping an eye open for them if they're cheap. They're
My
usually
first-
not so cheap.
No, not anymore. My first Dinobot was the prehistory animal Sludge with the long beak and the wings.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and the yellow chest in robot mode. He's great. Yeah.
So those
And his
are my
one is-
knockoffs.
Chrome, like chrome silver. So that's pretty neat.
That's it for me
Is that it? You're
This
done?
round.
All
for this
right.
round. Yeah.
Anna, what you got?
All right. Well, I'm a little jealous that Rob got to do a lightning round all on his own, all unannounced, but I won't complain too much. And I will go in the direction of basic shapes because I agree with Rob's love of basic shapes and transforming figures. So I, a while ago, got a single Beast Box figure, right? Like I got the Beast Box ape type thing, gorilla, doohickey, and I didn't like it, right? I stopped buying Beast Box. I was like, I'm going to try it one time, and I'm going to see if I like it, and I'm going to say, blah, I don't want this anymore. But then they started putting out these freaking 2-part combining robot things that are like generic weird robots, and I just decided to go ahead and give their Landbreaker Elite, a try at TFCon. And this is made of 2 individual guys who transform into boxes, as with everything that they make. This is technically a mega box, not a beast box. And they combine together to form this not at all Devastator relative.
And if, other than the colors, it has nothing to do with Devastator.
Other than the fact it's construction vehicles.
Are they, though? I guess so.
They're construction things.
I thought it turned into a box, not construction. Where are the construction things?
So it turns into 2 boxes. So it comes with, of course, the cute little boxes that Beastbox likes to give us. But so they both turn into boxes, but they also both turn into individual vehicles. So, they're pretty simple in vehicle mode. Like, this one is literally just this. You flip around this thing, you pull out the saw.
Well, Anna. Oh, she's done.
That's it. Right? That is one of the individuals. It's got treads and long arms. One is a crane to grab things, the other one is a saw to cut things. And, the other one turns into something similar. But they come apart like that, so you can do the individual modes, and they also combine into a big, scary-looking vehicle. It looks like something the Shredder should have rode around on. And I think they're really fun because the instructions do something that I don't see any transforming action figures do, and they go for a Lego. And they just give you all sorts of suggested builds and ideas. They're like, maybe set them up like this. Maybe you want it to have 4 arms today. Maybe it needs to have like 12 legs. And it's just like, that's a level of creativity that, strangely enough, Transformers doesn't usually encourage us to do. It's like, this is the correct mode A, this is correct mode B. And these guys are just like, wiggle them around, see where they land. If you like it, that's a new mode. Go for it. And I think that's really fun. So
yeah, I messed with that one at TFCon, and I remember I had no idea how they officially go together, but it didn't seem to matter. It's really easy to just peg the 2 together in any order you want. I made some like centaur-looking thing or something.
Yeah, you made it into one centaur. Then I picked it up and made it into a different centaur.
Yeah,
and we just had fun with it.
Yeah, and the colors are very much Devastator inspired, which is a wonderful palette. I love the hot green and purple.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to end up setting it up next to some iteration of the Constructicons. It's like their pet drone or something like that, because it'll be a fun way to use it. And it won't look out of place either. It just looks like a weird thing. Yeah, I really like it. They're putting out a bunch of these. There's at least 4 that they've announced, and they're semi-modular. So they have parts that come off, like the treads in the back here, pop off. And they are the same port size that our modulators have. So you could technically start getting these to play with your War for Cybertron stuff, just like modulators. And combine them all, put them in your bases, add some wheels. You get really creative with it. So I was really happy with this random purchase because I didn't plan to get it. I kind of forgotten they existed. And then I got this one, and now I want to get all of them.
What's funny is you bought like the one Beast Box set that I don't have yet and don't have ordered. And I don't know how that ended up that way. It just did. And, I'll have to correct that at some point here.
It was cool because I actually got to share it with you and be like, hey, this is something you hadn't tried yet, and what the hell is great.
I've been over here fiddling with it. I don't have the one completely transformed yet, but similar to that line, I got the monkey ones in last week. The 2 monkey ones that make a human. I've made them into boxes, and I'm putting them back into monkey now. I haven't combined them to make the big robot dude yet, but I think you'll like this too. They don't seem as modular as that one is. Like, I think they have more of a, here's how it goes together. You can always do whatever you want, but
I know so far this and the deep one, which is like 2 different scuba diving vehicles, like submarine type deals.
Yeah.
They combine together in a big robot. I know so far those 2 are modular. I think the jet pair that look like they're something out of like Beast Machine's jets, Those I think are also modular, but I don't have a confirmation on that yet.
Oh, maybe these are then. I don't know.
I don't know, try to pull stuff off of them and take a chance on breaking them. It's fun.
It's mostly ball joints, so.
Yeah, it'll be good. This doesn't have like any ball joints. That's interesting. I don't think this has a single ball joint on it. Huh. It's constructed different.
I've noticed something. So far, I'm the only one who bought Transformers at TFCon.
I have no Transformers to show tonight.
I do. My next round's gonna.
No,
be
what are you talking
Transformers.
about?
Christian?
These are Transformers that I bought from Morrison.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
there
no,
you go.
you're right.
That's
You're
true.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And you brought
I
me a
am using-
Transformer that's kinda.
I'm using a Transformers product as a stand right now. You just don't know it. Eventually, I'm
some
just going to
purpose.
hold it up and
Weirdos
be like,
over
this
here.
is my last name. Here you go. The future. All right. I will allow the next person to go in the hopes that I will be able to show off my last name.
There you go, Peter. What you got?
Okay, I just said I'm not going to show off any Transformers, but I'm about to show off Transformers characters, but they're not Transformers branded toys. Every show, a vendor sets up, and I like all of her stuff, and so I make it a point to purchase things from her every time because it's awesome. Hang on, I don't know, I can't see myself. Come on, camera, do camera stuff. So these are my bitty bots. I got 3 of them. I got Fulcrum, Croc, who is awesome, and Crankcase to fill out my scavengers. I'm sorry, it's pronounced scavengers display. There we go. Hello, purple tape guy with tongue sticking out.
It's my friend Frenzy.
Rumble's
So,
still
yeah,
licky.
These are adorable. They're I don't know, adorable. I already have Galvatron and Ratchet and Misfire and a Swerve, and I'm going to finish up. I'm basically just buying IDW versions of everybody because they are delightful and they're adorable, and I don't know any other words. I don't have a Mythosaurus and my brain is broken. So, Bitty Bots, buy them
They're
from
so
Mythfit
cute.
Creations. Mythfit Creations is available. It's a one-person show. She's on Etsy, and she makes all sorts of adorable stuff. So
Was
go
her the
support
booth that had just a rack of them in the back, and then she had a
A
bunch
rack
of
of
stuff on the
plushes.
table in front?
And they
Yep.
all sold.
Yep.
It's
She was
really...
Every show she shows up and she sells out of all sorts of stuff. It's wonderful.
I bought from her. She had some that were just heads that had bunny ears and stuff, and I bought one that had the kawaii face. It was Bumblebee, and I gave it to my 11-year-old daughter as just here's a souvenir. And I was happy when she goes, it's a Bumblebee bunny, and I was like, she knew who it was.
Aw.
So that's my parenting win of the year.
A few years ago, my mom always pops in at shows, almost always, and she got the kids a Windblade Bittybot and a Cyclonus Bittybot in the IDW style. So we've had them floating around forever. They're wonderful.
Yeah, I
I just
didn't
think it's
show it
fun.
off, but I also got the same ones that you did, Rob. Got a Bumblebee bunny for my.
I got the
kids as
last
well.
one.
So
It was a late thought for me because I was like, what would my daughter want from here? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, she loves stuffed animals. And I was like, oh, there's only one of this left, because at that point she had 7 things left. And I was like, oh, well, she still has this, and it's perfect because my daughter might actually know who it is, and it's a bunny, and it's got the kawaii face, kiwi, however you pronounce it, face, kawaii face. That's right, it's like Hawaii. With a
Come
K.
on, Serge, jump in. You've got kawaii stickers all over your car. You're supposed to correct
You
us.
let me take that one, dude.
Car that isn't moving. Either of them.
I have several of those bitty bots as well, and they are fantastic. Can confirm.
no, they're great.
It's just impressive to me, being a one-person show, as you all put it, how much she brings every year. It's just it is so much stock. That takes so much work for that payoff of
Yeah.
that one show where she sells 75% of it. It's just really impressive. It shows a lot of dedication. It's
Really
making
sad.
absolutely adorable little monsters.
Yep. So, So I guess for me, I also dabbled in the Orson booth as well. So I wasn't going to get this mold again, but because I've already sold it, I have the.
What is this mold?
This is the Ultra Magnus, the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, but it's not Combiner Wars. It's what is it?
Thrilling 30 Legends. What do you want?
I
think it was
the Takara
Legends.
version?
It's
Whatever
Legends,
the Takara
right?
version.
Legends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Legends.
LG.
The one I have.
So
LG
yes.
was Legend.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one it was, but this one comes with the was it the Perfect Effect Core Bot 2? So I was excited to get that because I've never actually owned those figures because they sold out. But it's to replace. It's like an upgrade kit that like upgrades the figure, and then it also has the like core bot and whatnot. So I'm excited to check this out.
I like how a week later none of Lucas's stuff is open.
So I was telling Peter this that I actually we can do a show from 2 years ago. Here's an item that I got off of Alan a couple years ago. So and it's still sealed.
Still sealed.
So
Wow.
there you
Sell it back to him.
Cut the tape.
go. Right. So
You obviously don't like it or care about it.
no, I do.
Nope.
It's
Oh,
just,
obviously.
False. He opened the GoBots, so that says a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like 2 of the GoBots out of like 20.
Right.
I haven't opened most of my stuff yet either. I've been doing construction on my shelves, so.
No, that's the problem is I need to redo my shelves, and I haven't done it yet, and so it may be 2 more years. I don't know. Who knows? But then I also got a Wreck-gar, and this is of the older mold, the older generations. But what's cool about this is it's the Takara version of it, so it's shiny.
Does it actually have the Wreck-gar head? It's not like Junk Heap or Scrap Heap or whatever they are.
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay.
So, here inside
There he is.
the bag.
Hi.
So.
Hi, Wreck-gar.
But yeah, so I don't know. I always like Orson always has this kind of stuff, like to do whatever Takara version of a Generations figure, and so this is what I picked up from him this time. So
Remember when they used to be different? Shout out to
Yeah.
being different.
You know what though? I like not having to pay extra money for that stuff to be satisfied with the Hasbro version. So
Shout out to brand unification.
I never
Yeah,
bought the
you
Takara
can
stuff.
put that shout out. That's fine.
well, during Combiner Wars, there was a few of those combiners that you kind of had to get. I mean, you didn't have to, but the Legends ones were a lot better than, or the Takara ones were much better than the Hasbro versions.
I take it I did buy the Devastator from Combiner Wars, which is like one of 3 things I bought from Combiner Wars.
Unite Warriors
'cause-
or Combiner Wars? Which one?
Or Unite Warriors.
Yeah.
Unite Warriors Devastator. Just because it had elbows.
Yeah.
Like it had the guns too, but it was mainly because it had elbows.
Elbows.
Shout out to elbows.
Those are important. Shout out to elbows.
Yeah.
Serge, what's next for you, buddy?
Surge, what you got?
Elbows.
I think this will be my last round.
I think it's gonna be all of our
Let's
last
see, Who do I
round.
start off with? So I got the movie best Ratchet. Similar to how Christian is doing like all the Cybertron stuff. I want to do like all the movie stuff, but I'm only keeping it to stateside. But every now and then there will be some like Japanese only releases that really catch my eye. And this was one of the ones that I regretted not getting when it came out, but I found it for retail price loose at one of the booths. And I mean, this is like the most accurate color, like even more than the MPM.
Is it more
to
accurate
the
than
screen
the
use color?
MPM knockoff though?
It's the same shade. I'm like 90% sure. Because
It looks like
Takara
that.
actually knows. Yeah, Takara actually knows what they're doing.
They keep messing up the colors.
No idea when it comes to.
And Surge is breaking up.
Yeah. But yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed this mold until now. I own like 4 of these, I think, 3 or 4 of them. But it's a nice, fun little mold, and honestly, like the paint on this is insane. I mean, outside of the molded plastic, there has color matched paint all over it, so that's really nice. Let's see, this one I got off of Orson as well was the Sdcc Cliff Jumper, which I have here.
It's from Prime.
Really nice.
I was wondering.
Yes, from TF Prime, the Terracon, the zombie one. Unfortunately, though, this mold is known for a couple issues, and this was no exception. Earlier this week, where like the horns are on the grill, this piece broke off. But it did, fortunately, at least it did break off in a form where I can kind of clip the pin in, so it could still transform, and it won't fall off. Like it's like held in by the way that it broke off. So I got pretty lucky. I put the pieces back on and put a little bit of plastic cement on there. So I'm hoping that it holds on.
Is it just the pin was too big for the spot or something and it stresses it out, or?
It's just a really thin plastic that they use. For some reason, a lot of the Prime stuff has really thin plastic compared to some of the modern releases. I remember when Breakdown got reissued on Prime, a lot of people in the groups were posting like, hey, why is this so thin? Like, or was the original release like it? And it's like, yeah, a lot of the Prime molds had really thin plastic. This one was unfortunately no exception. And unfortunately, a lot of this is also translucent plastic, so he won't be getting messed with all too much. Continuing with Prime molds, I got the Botcon 15 Megatron, which I got off of fellow cast member Nick. Now this one, I actually went to this Botcon in person and I bought the whole set. But then when I did a collection purge, unfortunately, I sold it, and I did regret it because not only is this mold really cool, but just it's a movie reference, and it also kind of looks like the Jeepers Creepers truck almost. It's got really nice paint apps on here. It's the War Breakdown mold, I think, from Transformers Prime. And he came with 3 microns, and I believe Scalpel is like the only other official release he's gotten other than the ROTF one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. You're right.
So that was cool. I like my movie stuff, so the movie reference is really nice.
What was neat about that release is, Breakdown did not get a U.S. release, and that's why FunPub wanted to get that, to do something with it, just because FunPub did that a lot. They're like, oh, these heads didn't get a U.S. release. These alternate heads didn't get used at all, like the Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus that came out. Like that head it's been there the whole time. No one used it. And anytime there were molds that hadn't got used, they tried to find a spot for them. And also in that set, like a lot of the microns that were in there were microns that came out in Japan for Transformers Prime, but they had no U.S. release at all. Like you could buy them from overseas, and assemble them at home, but they gave a lot of those to the club as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, the arms micron were like gashapon things that were only available in weirdo areas. Kind of like the microns from earlier, like we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of exclusives for that. But shout out to Nick. I traded him some stuff, and then even with the trade-in, he still knocked off a couple bucks more than what he was asking. So thank you for that. So I've been wanting to pick this one up. It's one of those where like the club stuff has really shot up in price. So he's been on my list, but it's been one of those where it's like, I wasn't really mentally prepared to drop the cash that they're asking for it now. But he made it very easy to do that. And the last thing, again, it's a Transformers Prime mold. It's the Collector's Club Barricade, which I got off of Orson as well. Unfortunately, it does not include Frenzy, but Orson says that he does have it, so he's going to be mailing it to me once he finds it. So that will be coming in later. That's another like micron that didn't come out in the U.S. but technically came out with the Barricade is one of my favorite characters, so I've been collecting as many versions as I can. This one was at the top of my list. Usually goes towards the $100 range. Orson, for whatever godforsaken reason, had it for like $20. So when we were setting up the booth, as soon as I saw it, I set it aside for myself. And yeah, I mean, this thing is really nice. The paint apps on it are pretty much 1-to-1 with the movie. You know, and it really rocks this mold. You know, I think this mold I think this works better than Smokescreen did. So I'm really happy that I finally picked it up, because now I have every non-movie Barricade mold. Because we got the Siege and Earthrise ones too. So very happy I got this. Oh, actually, I lied. One more. I got a lot of stuff, but I'm leaving a lot of stuff out. I'm showing my favorites. Christian knows about this one, the movie Grindcore. I got this at the same booth as I did with the movie Best Ratchet. And here's a funny story. Apparently I can't do math. Don't try to do math at 10 in the morning when you're running off 2 hours of sleep, because I picked these two up, and here I am thinking I'm a master negotiator, going up and throwing the booth an offer. And so I throw him an offer of $40, and he's like, yeah, that's how much I'm asking for him. I'll take 40. So unfortunately, no deal was made, as I offered him sticker price.
But, you know, if you want more
it was
sleep,
funny because, like,
if you want more sleep, maybe you shouldn't have your alarm go off repeatedly for an hour. You know, just throwing that out.
I got up eventually. It was a lot easier to get up on Sunday, because I think the method of keeping the phone on the table across the room, forcing you to get up, that's the way to go in the future. But yeah, it was funny because, like, he like looked at me and he was like, yeah, like, duh, I'll do 40. Like, that's what I'm asking. But yeah, so this is one that fills another hole in my movie quest. I wasn't expecting to like this as much as I did. I mean, this thing is really fun. I was flipping this thing back and forth as soon as I got it, the entire weekend. Even when I got home, he was the first one that I unpacked and flipped back and forth. It's just a lot of fun. The colors are really nice too. It's got like the Constructicon green almost.
That's a Shattered Glass toy as well. It got repurposed, isn't it?
Yeah, it got repurposed to Shattered Glass Scoop. So
okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he's getting displayed with the rest of my Shattered Glass stuff instead of my movie stuff, just to beef up the SG shelf. I told myself I wasn't going to mix the new IDW stuff with the older stuff, but here I am, just because I ended up liking it so much. But yeah, really super fun toy. If you can get any version of this mold, I definitely would recommend it. He's definitely one of those that are just fun to flip back and forth, you know, while you're sitting watching TV or doing some work at home.
Why don't you just get the Botcon Rhinox version?
Could, if you want to flex. If you want to drop like $500 on a Cybertron mold, be my guest.
What?
Christian just turned redder. Huh?
No, I haven't done that. I probably won't do it either.
Wait, Christian, I have a question.
What's
So
up?
you're doing all the Cybertron stuff. Does that mean you're eventually going to have to get that set again? Or are you going to do some mental gymnastics to convince yourself you don't?
It's probably got to be mental gymnastics. I sold that set to put a down payment on a car, so I feel like I'm not going to buy it back.
I mean, it's not.
And the
Cybertron
Megatron alone
set, though.
is the price of a car.
Maybe one of your cars or your stock that you have in oil pans or whatever.
Yeah. No, I sold the whole 06 thing with Megatron and put a fairly substantial down payment on a Chevy Volt. That was fun.
Hey, shout out to the Chevy Volt. That's Jolt.
Shout out to Jolt. It was blue. I drove Jolt for a while.
Very
For 2
nice.
years. Yeah, it was. I did not buy another Jolt at TFCon though. I'm gonna go through my lightning round real quick, if that's cool.
Sure.
Because it's all common stuff, just stuff I hadn't had in a while. Out of everything I bought outside these mini cons I showed in my last round, I've only never owned 2 of these figures. I say that. I can't think of what the other one is. Might be 1. Anyway, Oh no, it was Transmutate. That was the second one. So anyway, Energon Slugslinger, childhood figure, rebought. Cybertron Overhaul, small dude, needed for the Cybertron collection. Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Cybershark with a box. Childhood toy got, yeah, it is Norseman one. Childhood toy got, victimized by childhood, so got another one. Beast Wars Buzzclaw, because he's orange and purple and clear and nonsense. Excellent figure. I briefly showed off Cybertron Blur last time. I also got Energon Bulkhead.
I can't believe
like, he looks
you'd
like
ever
Springer.
sell that.
I don't need him anymore. I kept Quick Strike, and I was like, you know what? I need both the helicopters. So I got Bulkhead back. First used the Bulkhead name, not related to the other guy who came later. Both of them are green. Weird stuff.
He bulked up.
This is one of the ones I've never owned before, but Beast Wars Optimus Primal, the actual vintage one, not the reissue. I decided I was so close that I was going to go ahead and mold complete this guy, which means get every release of the mold. Now I'm only missing the LG release. Went back. It just kind of happened that way over the years. So if you have an LG Optimus Primal, hit me up. Also got Cybertron Mudflap with his gigantic crane sword arm.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, you want to see it? Let's do it. Okay, and then it still goes out even more. Why? Why does it do this?
Why wouldn't it?
It used to be that you could get this toy for nothing because it clearanced so hard. No one wanted it, and then no one wanted it when it was yellow in the movie line. And now he's actually kind of hard to come by. Funny.
A lot of those Cybertron Voyagers are that way for whatever
Everything is that way now for whatever reason.
Yeah, sure enough.
Like I remember, not to interrupt, Christian, but I remember a couple years ago I picked up a ton of like Armada and Energon from like the $5 bins, and now it's like they're $30 to $40 for the deluxes each. It's insane.
Yeah, you gotta look out for the deals where you can get them, which makes my quest harder. Of course, I would pick the absolute worst time to try and complete all of Cybertron, but hey, we'll get there. I also got Botcon Razorclaw. I had him previously, but sold him, and now I've gotten him back. My Cybertron quest extends into Cybertron Molds, like Serge was alluding to earlier with the purchase of an 06 set. So Cybertron Mold, here he is.
You're going to get a bunch of Fun Pub stuff then.
I probably will.
Bunch
They
of
repainted
expensive Fun
the
Pub stuff.
crap out of Unicron Trilogy stuff.
I got Galaxy Force Optimus Prime. This is the 4th copy I have owned. Hopefully it's the last copy I will ever own. Because I keep buying it and selling it. And then I was like, oh, well, I need to collect
I
all
have
Cybertron.
his
It's
last
like,
copy,
yeah.
too.
You have my last copy. That's correct.
The toy's so dope.
This
So
toy
much
is-
better
that
than the
thing-
recent one.
It
The
is.
thing
like-
aged like fine wine.
I had them next to each other, and I was like, yeah, I knew the old one was better, but the old one's so much better. I got rid of this one because I didn't need 2 red versions of that mold, but completing Cybertron, you do. So that's how it worked. That's my haul. I did it. There's one more thing I want to show you at the end, which is kind of neat, but that was my lightning round of common things you can buy. By Christian.
I remember when I used to get big hauls like that.
Yeah, there
It's not
you
even
go.
big. It's 10 toys plus the mini card. That's it.
That was
Yeah.
big.
I think I walked away with the most, but it was a bunch of like 10, 15, $5 things that I bought in bins. A lot of stuff that I figured would be kind of boring, which is funny because like I flew to the con, so like bringing all that stuff home was very interesting. And it was also like storming really bad when we landed. So I'm surprised I didn't get delayed. So, but everything came like unscathed, thankfully.
That's good. Yeah, back in the day for us Botcon old timers, if you had to fly, which you usually did because it moved around so much, you were flying at some point if you were consistent. It was stacked suitcases inside suitcases and fly an airline that doesn't charge you for bags. So you'd come in with one and you'd come out with 3 filled with crap because the box set alone, there's a suitcase, and you didn't want to ship it because it's expensive.
All right, do we want to do another round or are we done?
I guess I can pull some things out if you guys wanted to do another round, but it's up to y'all.
I think if
The only thing I have left, I just want to, because me and Anna split the Ninja Turtle New Age set.
Ooh.
We did.
They
I
were
brought
very
one of them
cute.
with me at least.
Yay.
My
That's
phone
all I
was in the
wanted to
kitchen, I
say.
think.
How did you
They're
decide
cute.
which one, who gets what, though?
I was happy with how they were split. Anna was not happy. Like, she wanted one from each pack.
Yep.
And she was just like, well, you can take that pack. And I still feel a little guilty about it.
Hey, you can always send me Raphael.
Oh. But they're cute. It's funny. I bought technically 3 Legends, because these 2 in the Megatron, and like, they are definitely cool toys. They're super cool toys. Like, I don't want to build my G1 collection around them. I prefer actual G1 and Masterpiece, but they are super fun. New Age is awesome.
3 Legends. Those are amateur numbers.
Oh, I can put it with the other 2 I have.
I got 1.
That's it. That's literally all I bought.
I don't know. I just
The
have
rest
one
of my
thing I
stuff
wanna
is not
share.
within reaching
I was gonna
distance.
say, Serge, didn't you get
So
a
I'm done.
commission? You're not gonna show that one off?
Christian has it. I don't know if he has it nearby that he could show
I mean,
it.
I folded it up and gave it to him. It should be fine.
He crumbled it into a little ball. It was nice. Really convenient pack for packing.
I guess I could pull up a picture. I guess.
Oh boy.
Because Christian, yeah, because unfortunately I commissioned from Casey Collar,
Hey, check
and
the chat. Stop the chat.
Oh,
Oh,
our friend's
dang it.
back.
We had that person before, right?
Similar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Lol.
sure that they come in every time with something different.
They use apostrophes incorrectly. I don't like them.
Oh, that's rude.
But yeah, so I commissioned something from Casey Collar, and the artists are busy people, especially when they have a couple panels. So unfortunately, my flight last minute got bumped up by like 3 hours. So I actually had to leave a little bit early before the con floor closed. So I wasn't able to pick it up myself. But thankfully, you guys were able to do that for me. And then Christian's actually holding on to it because I'm gonna have him mail it to Rick, so Rick can frame it.
Nice.
Hopefully it shows up on my screen. So I commissioned a torso of the original Shatterglass Megatron, and he's kind of in a stanced pose and clutching in torn Autobot flag. It's not really based off of anything. I just thought that this would look cool.
It does.
You thought right.
Yeah, I really like the original Shatterglass Megatron design. I think they picked a fantastic mold to represent that character. I'm excited for the new release, but I had the original before. Fantastic toy. And so this is my way to get it back somehow, because I'm not paying the crazy prices it's going for now. I wish I sold it now instead of I did 2 years ago, but that's a different story. But yeah, very excited to get this framed by Rick. Shout out to Rick. If anybody wants anything framed, let him know. He has a frame shop. He does custom pieces. I mean, I think he told us he has like literally thousands of combinations that he can do.
Everything he does is a unique one-off piece. So like it'll be custom for what you want. He'll work with you on a design to come up with something unique. If you want to get fancier, yeah. So it's pretty neat if you're into that.
And he'll work with you, if you have a certain budget. I just wanted something simple. So, I'm not going too crazy, but I figured I'd rather give a friend a business than, going to Walmart and just grabbing a crappy frame.
And he can be found on Twitter at Frame and Picture Shop. Shop spelled shoppy with 2 P's and an E. Yeah?
Ye olde shop.
And then on that note, mine were a little bit cheaper. But I got a couple pictures from Casey and then also Josh Burcham. So
Picked up some
Shout out to
prints, I
them.
assume.
yeah,
Like that
yeah. So I got this book because I mean, obviously, like I don't have room for all of the prints because usually what I do is I just go to Artist Alley and grab all the grab a couple prints from like each artist like each time. So then like this is another one from Casey as well. So
Nice.
but
We're silent.
yeah,
Look,
what
I
else
bought-
we got? Anyone else want to show anything off here?
I got this thing and this thing. Someone describe
Nice.
them.
That's the MMC Bruticus, right?
Yep. It's the Onslaught and the add-on kit. I don't know that I'm ever going to use this because I don't intend on displaying this set. The Ocular Max Combaticons, I don't intend on displaying them combined. So there.
Why did you get the add-on kit then?
Because I'm a dummy. And my brain doesn't work right. So there we go.
They look cool.
They are excellent individual figures.
Absolutely.
They're really fun. They're a lot of fun. I mean, mine's still standing, even though I think it's kind of janky in combined mode. It is still standing and has been for months.
Like Elton John?
Ooh,
That reference.
zing.
It's a song he did in the 80s, early 80s. I'm still standing. And yeah.
I got this messenger bag,
There you go.
Hey,
which is pretty cool.
We'll show what's
Trying to
attached
see if
to
you
it.
guys can see that. It's got an awesome lining. It's got like Transformers all over it or something. We like Transformers or something. I was able to bundle it together though with probably the neatest thing I picked up all weekend, which is this Optimus themed hand sanitizer holder.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty
It's cute.
fantastic.
That's great.
and the
Oh, it's also
bag
got
is a
lip
loot
balm.
crate thing, right?
Yeah.
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 I'm actually gonna have to take it to my cobbler to get it restrapped because I don't like this kind of strap where it like attaches at an angle across your back. I just want like normal strap. So I'm gonna get someone to do that for me.
Yeah, it was actually
Cool
pretty
bag.
good quality for a loot crate thing. Like
Yes,
it's pretty
it is.
hefty. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
the
nice and
the crate
thick.
stuff. Yeah, the crate stuff sometimes comes in just like a cheap little nylon bag, but that thing's got like padding and stuff too.
Yeah, I would not hesitate to put my laptop in it. So, yay! I need a new bag. Ones I have are old, but I can still salvage a strap off one of the old ones and have it attached to this one. So, yay! I got to go find a cobbler though.
There you go.
Peach cobbler.
All right. Anyone
Oh,
else have
shoot,
anything else
Pablo.
to show off before we wrap?
Yeah, I'll share a couple more things real quick. Well, I want to share the one thing.
Any Transformers?
The thing. Okay, I have one official Transformers product that's currently under my left hand. One more third-party thing to share before that, just real fast. And I'm going to go through this one really fast because I just want to acknowledge it because I feel like that's the right thing to do. I did pick up New Age's Reflector, which is absolutely fantastic. Like, it's a really good toy.
It looks great.
I had the opportunity to pick it up and I got to see it out of package. And unfortunately, a couple days before the convention, my mother passed away. And she bought me the original Reflector as a kid using robot points and mail orders and all that stuff, which was very difficult for a family as poor as we were. So I had really good memories of the toy and really good memories of my mom with it. So I had to get it. Felt like the right thing to do. Acknowledge it on the show. Feels like the right thing to do. And a bit,
That's awesome.
it's silly segue into something sillier. It's the right thing to do so I don't get accused of showing emotions in public. Could never do that. So I made a purchase that I think is extremely questionable at the convention. Also the largest item that I got.
Oh boy.
It's questionable for a different reason.
It's questionable for about 1,000 reasons.
It's
but-
wonderful for 1,000 reasons.
So about 10 years ago, there were full-size, large action figures made of two of the characters from Super Gun Master Force. And yeah, I had the opportunity to get Genrai. Unfortunately, Minerva was already gone. So I was not able to get them both, which is really good for my bank account because they are not cheap figures to obtain these days. I've heard legends that at one point they went on clearance in Japan. And, well, that's not my experience with them. My experience was this was the first time I had ever seen them in person. Quite opposite of Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. This guy is much bigger than you would expect a human figure to be.
It's huge.
He is huge. He's like, I think he's almost 8 inches tall, which, you know, to scale with all your other toys, he's going to dwarf over your Marvel Legends stuff and everything else you own for some reason. But why would you own this? I don't know. Because you're me.
I didn't know it even existed. I had never
A lot
seen
of people didn't. And I remember, you know, these came out in 11 and 12. And I was very in grad school at that time and had no money. So I remember seeing them and thinking, wow, those are so cool. They actually took the like humans from the like best use of humans in a Transformers series and made them into cool figures. And they're like, at the time they were superposable. And at the time they were crazy detailed. And I really wanted them. But again, grad school, if anyone else has ever gone to grad school, you don't have any money while you're in grad school.
That's why I didn't want to go.
I didn't go to
student loan
college.
debt.
Shout out to not going to college.
It's much cheaper. Much cheaper. If you buy figures that cost over $100 while you're in grad school, people judge you. But if you do it after grad school, people still judge you. Just different people. Different people. You have to explain to your spouse. So this guy is not open. And I'm fighting myself so hard on opening him. He's not like incredibly valuable or anything like that, but I've heard he's a little fragile. That's why I'm a little nervous about opening him, because I know I can't take him out of the package and, you know, very carefully move his arms a little bit, rotate him twice in my hand and put him on a shelf. I'm going to want to make him do all sorts of wacky poses and dances. And yeah, we're going to really like work this poor guy out. Probably going to break him. That's going to be sad. But maybe I'll just break his heads and he comes with like 5. So.
And there's an additional head available to make him look like Haikyuu from the Marvel comic in the Minerva Redeco set. So Minerva comes in Nightbeat colors and she comes with an extra Haikyuu head. So for you Marvel type completists who love Haikyuu and not Jinrai, then you can make that if you buy 2 sets and put them together.
And I'm really glad I'm not attracted to that at all. Like, I love the idea that you can make him the other guy. But having to go out and get that other Minerva figure just to get a second head for him, I'm glad I don't care. Because if I did, that would make me have to put in more effort. And I think that Nightbeat Minerva is actually even more expensive than Minerva is. She's sold
under
better.
$200. Yeah.
That's only twice her original retail, so, you know, that's not the worst thing in the world. So yeah, this is the most questionable purchase I made at the con because, you know, here I am getting like good prices on, not really. Ron just asked in the chat if his legs fold up to make the engine mode. Bleh. Not really. He is like 2011 toy engineering, not now toy engineering. So, you know, this is basically like, you know how they did a couple Transformers figures in Revoltech? This is another one of those lines. It's just, it's not known for posability. It's known for sexy anime girls. So Genrai really stands out. I looked at the full list of figures from this line, and it's like, I think he's one of like only a couple men to ever be made in that toy line. And yeah, they didn't do posability night 10 years ago. So he can't quite do that. Minerva does come with her robot face, though, which is really bizarre at that size because, you know, it's like this big old robot face. But yeah, that's all I have. Lots of energy about it, but
Good stuff.
There you go.
weird
All right,
stuff.
Does anyone else have anything else, or
I do. I want to show off engineering.
sure?
Super sweet engineering. It's not Transformers, but you know, whatever. We're past that now. So these are 2 of my now almost complete collection of Winter Robo, which was the last Machine Robo line before they went on hiatus before CG Robo in 1993. These came out in 1987, 1988. They are Hot Wheels sized cars that pop into robot mode. There was a track that you could drive them around on, and they showed up in the Battle Hackers cartoon. And so this one is, which one are you? This Truck Winner, and this is Buggy Winner. And Buggy Winner kind of looks like Wheelie in vehicle mode, which is awesome. Because Wheelie is awesome. So my Machine Robo collection grows. And these were purchased from Richard's table. Richard had so much good stuff.
Yep. All right. Well, so book club this week is going to be Robots in Disguise. What is it, 52 and 53? Is that right, Anna?
Yes.
Okay.
I missed last week, so I had to say that with like caution, but yes.
Check out book club on the tftalk.net Discord Sunday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thanks to Ron. Thanks to Catherine. Thanks to Zaldron. Let's see. Thanks to Adolf. Thanks to John.
No thanks.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
No.
Shout out to them, except for
I'm
the
just
last
kidding.
one.
Thanks to Daniel. Thanks to Phil, who's here earlier.
No shout out
Big
to
Daddy
Phil.
Reviews.
Big Daddy Reviews. So, but yeah, thank you guys, and we will see you next week.